So this has been long awaited. We are finally complete with this custom media console for my new house, which will house the main TV for my living room. We're pretty much complete this stage of the project. I cannot wait to share with you this final build. So check out how this works. So within the media console, this opens up and these panels essentially slide over to hide the main TV behind it. So third panel and fourth one. And when this closes, it gives it like a very clean look, almost like there's no TV. And because I'm a reviewer, I thought about this when I was making this. If anything needs to get now mounted, I don't have to do that extra work of mounting a TV behind it. I can just now place it on top of this little furniture piece right here. And then it's just being custom made for a tech YouTuber. So that was kind of cool. So when TCL originally reached out to partner on this video, I was really excited because not only have I gotten a lot of questions from you guys, but a lot of family and friends as well have asked about this because TCL is one of the best bang for your buck TVs that you can get, especially for this size. So this is officially a 98-inch TV, the model name specifically. This is the 98QM7K, the QD mini LED TV. Obviously the display tech behind this is mini LED, and the big benefits of that, say versus OLED, are higher peak nit brightness. So this gets up to 3000 nits of HDR brightness, and it also has longer lifespan. So no burn-in, none of those issues that are typically found with OLEDs. And this is the future of large format or large TV display tech. And in the years of reviewing TVs, trust me, I've reviewed like, I don't want to say hundreds, but a lot over my time. So anywhere from panels from, that $10 to $15 to $20,000 mark. The value of this is pretty incredible for what you're getting. So right now, I know the TV is currently on sale. It's around that $2,000 US, which considering for a 100-inch TV, if you look back like a couple years ago, like I said, those things would be over $10,000, even for the cheapest one. So obviously the pricing has come down a lot. It's a lot more affordable. And my kind of ethos is if you have empty space on the wall, you can get a larger TV. And I've seen that TCL also just came out with a slightly larger one. It's their 115-inch one, and I'm kind of looking around the bezels right now. I think it would be a good fit, but getting to this panel, which I think for most people, that 100-inch mark is probably at the max size of what they're gonna be looking at.
What's up?
The benefits over this, over say like a projector, which obviously can get technically larger, but it just doesn't get as bright as a natural TV as having a fully functional panel. You guys have seen some of my house tours or some of the teasers that I posted. I have literally windows, glazing, and glass everywhere, letting in so much natural light. So if you're watching content during the day, you really have to worry about how much light is letting in. That's where mini LED tech is so good, just how bright this gets. Obviously the contrast ratios are really good. It's 7,000:1 ultra high native, but I would say the biggest benefit of this TV tech-wise is the halo control system, which really helps mitigate any sort of extra blooming, which is pretty prevalent in a lot of other mini LED TVs. So imagine you're watching like a movie, something really like dark. You sometimes have like subtitles. With those other ones, you kind of see that extra blooming or like that glow coming out from the lettering. With this TCL TV, I haven't really noticed that, and that's due to a couple things. The first being a super condensed micro lens. Essentially, that's a lens over top each individual LED that helps eliminate halo and gives a better backlight uniformity. And the second being micro OD tech, which actually impacts the overall size of the panel. So if you actually take a look at this, how thin the profile of this really large TV is. So essentially what's happening here, the profile has become thinner. So the amount of time, or I guess the space between the LED to the front of the panel has been shrunk down. So there's less bloom and less glow to help manage that. And lastly, the panel has something called crisp glow on it, essentially a layer on top, which helps cut down on reflections. Once again, if you do have a lot of natural light, you really notice that difference to overall just give better picture quality, more depth, and better performance for a mini LED panel. So if you are a person that watches really high quality content, like you're into movies, if you have like a lot of those Blu-ray collections, this also has Dolby Vision IQ, HDR10+, HLG, the new DLA, it has Dolby Atmos, DTS Virtual X, IMAX Enhanced, AMD FreeSync. The list kind of goes on and on. But I would say the biggest benefit to this is actually one of the biggest panels that I've seen with a 144 hertz refresh rate. So great for gaming and great for like fast moving content. If you're big into sports, I know that TCL is partnered with the NFL. So if you watch, your Sunday morning soccer, Prem League like I do, I've got a bit into fantasy football this year, which my team is just blowing the bed this year, which I think is all things new. But I mentioned it has a native refresh rate of 144 hertz. It also has a variable refresh rate. So depending on the type of content you're watching, whether that is something super fast paced or just regular, it'll help sync so there's no sort of screen tearing. It also has a game accelerator 288, which will help boost or enhance your gameplay experience for a 288 VRR. So initially, when we mounted this, there's actually speakers built into the back of the TV. So they are 2.2 high fidelity speakers by Bang & Olufsen. I was on the fence of actually getting like a legit soundbar. I haven't finalized the one that I want. You could theoretically run without a soundbar, to be honest. Like if we just pump this up again. If you guys can hear that through the mic, it sounds like good enough. So imagine, I guess like the only thing missing in this living room is actual furniture. So where you guys are kind of standing, imagine like a couch. I'll be probably like plopped right here, maybe having a little like coffee table right there. That is pretty much the last things that have to be done for the living room setup. I guess before we kind of end off, obviously we've got the remote. So this is running off of Google TV. So you have literally hundreds of different apps that you can choose from, no matter what streaming service that you kind of pick, whatever your poison is, whether that's like Netflix, YouTube, you can watch me, you can watch this video on YouTube, Prime Video, Disney Plus, it literally has it all. It is nice and responsive, super quick. If you're in the market, honestly, for like a 100-inch TV, I have not found one in this price category, in this bracket that performs this well. Obviously, I'm so convinced that I have it mounted because it took a lot of work to get this thing up, even though it is relatively like thin because of the size, 98 inches, it requires some extra help. Maybe my only request, I do see some white borders around. Maybe I need to upgrade to that 115 incher. Let me know your guys' thoughts and let me know on this custom TV console that we ended up installing. I think it's pretty cool as these panels slide all the way to the end, but we'll catch you in one of my next vids. Peace.